Barcelona, 1939. The Spanish Civil War has scarred the city, leaving its streets silent beneath a veil of ash and ruin. Amid the wreckage stands a man, gripped by the weight of an impossible decision. Juan Pujol García is no soldier, yet the rise of Nazi Germany looms over Europe, demanding a choice: flee and survive, or fight and risk everything. Armed with nothing but his wit and a boundless imagination, Pujol begins a journey that will rewrite history. From an unassuming chicken farmer to one of the most cunning spies of all time, he constructs an elaborate web of deception so intricate that even the Nazis are ensnared. As Allied forces prepare for D-Day, Juan Pujol, codenamed Garbo, becomes their secret weapon. His lies shape reality, and his double agent exploits make him a legend. Born in Barcelona on Valentine's Day, 1912, Pujol grew up far from the hero he would one day become. A boy of boundless creativity, his daydreams often led to trouble, like the time he rode his bicycle straight through a classroom window, lost in his own world. Sent to boarding school at 7, he rebelled against authority, defying both academics and discipline. At 15, he dropped out of school and took a job at a hardware store, later earning a chicken farming certificate. Then came 6 grueling months in Spain's 7th Light Artillery Regiment, an experience that only deepened his hatred of violence. He left the military convinced he was not meant to follow orders or carry a gun. Pujol's business ventures were as turbulent as his life. He invested in movie theaters, each venture failing more spectacularly than the last. By 24, he had returned to chicken farming, engaged to Marguerite, a devout Catholic woman who adored him, but could never truly win his heart. It seemed Pujol was destined for mediocrity, but destiny had other plans. By 1936, Spain was teetering on the brink. King Alfonso XIII had fled 5 years earlier, leaving a power vacuum filled by fascists and communists vying for control. Hitler, to Pujol, was a demon. He resolved to fight, not with guns, but with his mind. By January 1941, he walked boldly into the British embassy in Madrid, offering his services to MI5. They turned him away, skeptical of the eccentric Spaniard with no spy credentials. Undeterred, Pujol hatched a daring plan. If the British wouldn't hire him, he would prove his worth by infiltrating the Nazis himself. And so, the man who despised extremism set out to become a double agent on his own terms. Juan Pujol García knew nothing about espionage. To fool the Nazis, he would have to transform himself into the perfect agent, a devoted follower of Hitler's vision. Immersing himself in Nazi propaganda, he crafted his persona and boldly called the German embassy in Madrid. Pujol's pro-Nazi pitch was convincing enough to secure a meeting at Café Lion. There, he met Federico, a blue-eyed Abwehr agent who would become his handler. At their second meeting, Pujol was formally recruited, codenamed Arabelle, ironically meaning answered prayer. He received his first assignment, travel to Lisbon to obtain a visa for England. But securing the visa was far from straightforward. After his requests were denied, Pujol spent days wandering hotel bars, desperate for a breakthrough. Fate intervened when he met Senor Salza, a fellow Spaniard carrying a diplomatic visa issued by the Spanish Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Charming Salza, Pujol lured him on a trip to Estoril. While Salza gambled at the casino, Pujol faked an illness, returned to their hotel, and photographed the visa. Using his wit and charm, he convinced engravers and printers to help forge the document. With his masterpiece in hand, Pujol had what he needed to impress the Germans. He returned to Madrid triumphant, claiming he had connections in Britain, eager to broker currency deals. The key to success was surprise. If Hitler's forces concentrated at Normandy, the invasion could be crushed. To prevent this, the Allies launched Operation Fortitude, a massive deception campaign, and Pujol, Agent Garbo, was at its heart. Garbo's mission was to convince the Germans that the invasion would target Pas-de-Calais, 200 miles north of Normandy. He fed the Abwehr reports from his fictional spy network, detailing a 1,000,000-man army called the 1st United States Army Group, FUSAG, assembling in southeastern England. The ruse was elaborate. Inflatable tanks, dummy aircraft, and even fake hospitals dotted the countryside. Media reports and staged photographs enhanced the illusion, and General George Patton himself was seen rallying the imaginary forces. For months, Garbo's sub-agents reported troop movements and military preparations, fueling German fears of an attack on Calais. Simultaneously, Allied bombing raids targeted Calais, while leaving Normandy largely untouched, adding credibility to Garbo's reports. By June 1944, Hitler and his high command were convinced the invasion would come at Pas de Calais. On June 6, 1944, D-Day, the Allies landed on the beaches of Normandy. Poor weather had lulled the Germans into complacency, leaving their defenses unprepared. Even as Allied forces stormed ashore, Berlin's high command hesitated, believing the main assault would still come at Calais. Garbo reinforced this belief by sending a message on June 9th, suggesting a second, larger invasion was imminent. This prompted Hitler to halt his panzer divisions from moving to Normandy, buying the Allies critical time to establish a foothold. Garbo's deception didn't end with D-Day. For weeks, he continued feeding the Germans false intelligence, delaying reinforcements and preventing a coordinated counterattack. Even by December 1944, 22 German divisions remained stationed at Pas de Calais, waiting for an invasion that would never come. Thanks to Garbo and other double agents, the Germans were paralyzed by misinformation. Agent Garbo's deception extended far beyond D-Day. For days after the invasion, his fabricated reports continued to delay German reinforcements, ensuring the Allies could establish a foothold in Normandy. By August 1944, as Allied troops marched toward Paris and the Soviets closed in from the east, Pujol's career as a double agent neared its end. The Third Reich was collapsing, with German agents surrendering in droves. Yet Garbo's work wasn't done. Pujol played a crucial role in redirecting Germany's deadly V-1 rocket attacks, saving countless lives